Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's core stability session where we're going to have a little bit of 90s rock and a lot of glutes work going on. So let's get started. Let's start on the ground on your backs. Feet are going to be flat to the floor. Head can start rested. Hands are going to be outside the hips, palms face down, fingertips reaching the same direction as your toes. Curl up chin to chest. Get those shoulder blades hovering off the ground, upper abs activated, and hundreds. Here we go. We pump those arms up and down, a few inches above the hips, a few inches below the hips. Arms stay straight the entire time. The hands lift up and lower. The arms go with them. Every pump of these arms gives instability through the upper abs as we work to heat them up, get them ready for what's to come. Breaking the ice a little bit. If you'd like to amp it up here, you can lift your feet off the ground into upside down tabletop. Have your shins parallel to the ceiling. And if you want to take it another step forward, you can straighten those legs and extend them away from the torso, reaching at a diagonal. Keeping your legs as straight as you can. Always the option to have those feet flat to the floor. Keep breathing. We're almost through here. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, rest your head, rest your feet if they weren't. Shake it out a little bit. We're going to take it into sit-ups or crunches or roll-ups. So you decide. For crunches, feet flat to the floor, hands behind the head, elbows wide. You're going to curl up so shoulder blades hover, and then release. Curl up, release. So crunches is shoulder blades hovering. Sit-ups. Head is rested, arms reach to the ceiling, fingertips up, and you're gonna roll all the way up, shoulders come up over hips. As you're coming up, your arms end up reaching forward at shoulder height at the bottom. Then roll-ups are your last option, so you're same as sit-ups, except your legs are nice and long on the ground, and they're straight rather than bent. Fingertips start to the ceiling, and then as you roll up, fingertips are at shoulder height, reaching forward. Again, choosing whichever one you'd like to do. And we're gonna finish those out in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest your head. Bring your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. We're gonna take it to our single leg circles. Go ahead, pull your right knee into your chest and extend your right leg straight to the ceiling. So right toes to the ceiling, and we're gonna draw circles across the body first. So we're gonna go counterclockwise. So draw a circle to the left, down, right, and up through center. As you draw the circles, you can decide the size of the circle and how high or low the circle is. So the smaller the circle and the higher the circle, the more support you're gonna have. The bigger the circle and the lower the circle, the less you're gonna have. And go ahead and reverse your directions of your circle. Push your low back into the ground. Try to keep your leg as straight as you can. Working through some thigh strength here, as well as low abs, trying to keep that low back glued to the ground. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bend that right knee back into your chest, and then go ahead, set that right foot flat down to the floor so your knees are bent to the ceiling once again. And we're going to switch sides. Bring your left knee to your chest, send your left leg straight to the ceiling, toes up, leg nice and straight. We're going to go across the body first, so we're going to go clockwise this time. So leg to the right, down, left, and up through center. Draw circles. Try to keep your upper body completely still by really engaging those abs, pulling that belly button down, pushing through the palms of your hands, maybe outside your hips to help stabilize, feeling the work through the thighs, feeling the stretch through the back of the thigh as you round out your circle. Reverse directions. Now we go counterclockwise, left down, right and up through center. Try to keep your toes pointed here. A couple last deep breaths. And then we're going to bring the upper abs back into the picture. And go ahead, bend that left knee into your chest and then set both feet flat down to the floor. We're going to take it to single leg stretch. So go ahead, curl up chin to chest. Shoulder blades are going to hover off the ground. Hug your right knee to your chest and then extend your left leg long to hover. Switch legs. Left knee hugs to chest, right leg extends long to hover over the ground. Switch and switch. So keeping the shoulder blades high the entire time is upper abs. Switching of the legs is side abs, obliques, and extending the legs is low abs. So good combo here. And we're gonna take it to double leg stretch here. So hug both knees to your chest. Option to rest your head for a brief moment to give your upper abs a tiny break. And when you're ready, you can get back into it. Lift on back up, hugging your knees to your chest, shoulder blades hovering. And then you're gonna extend your arms and legs out away from the torso. So arms reach behind the head, legs reach nice out and straight, and then hug everything back into your ball. Try to keep your shoulder blades high the entire time through this entire movement as arms and legs reach away from the torso and then everything hugs back in. Just a couple here. And 3, 2, 1. Hug everything back in, then rest your head. Go ahead and set those feet flat down to the floor. We're gonna take it to single straight leg stretch next. So go ahead, curl up, chin to chest, give those shoulder blades to hover, upper abs activated. And then I want you to keep your left foot planted flat on the floor, but lift your right leg straight to the ceiling, toes point up. Take your hands, and I want you to hold on to your right leg as high up towards your foot as you can. So that might be behind the thigh, that might be behind the calf, the ankle, it might be on the foot. Whatever you're at is fine with me. Option here to let the left leg hover over the ground nice and long or leave it planted. Now you're gonna switch, left leg up or right leg down. As the leg comes up, I want you to grab onto that leg that's lifting as high as you can at the top before you release and switch. Keep those shoulder blades hovering, upper abs working, side abs working with alternating legs, and low abs working as we lower the leg. And 3, 2, 1, hug everything into your chest once again, and then rest your head, bring your feet flat to the floor. We're gonna just take it to double straight leg stretch next, and send both legs straight to the ceiling. So head gets to stay rested, push the palms into the ground outside the hips, squeeze your thighs together, make one nice long leg, point your toes to the ceiling. Push your low abs in, so low back down to the ground, belly button to spine. Lower your legs for 3 counts to a diagonal away from the torso, and then lift them back up to the ceiling. Just keep the legs squeezed together as you lower, and then one quick lift to the ceiling. Slow lower, quick lift. Low abs working here as well as inner thighs to squeeze the legs together. And in 3, 2, 1, go ahead, bend those knees into your chest, rest those feet back down. Last exercise here before we get into our balance is our crisscross crunches or bicycle crunches. So go ahead and feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling, curl up chin to chest, hover your shoulder blades off the ground, hands go behind your head, elbows wide, and you're going to crunch your chest or your breastbone towards your left knee as your left knee comes into your chest. Set it down and switch. Crunch towards your right knee as your right knee comes into your chest and set it down. If you'd like to extend your leg long to hover after it comes into your chest while the other knee comes in, you can do that. Knee comes in, extends long, other knee comes in, extends long. So either plant the foot or extend it. Nice tiny little crunches and twists side to side, trying to keep those shoulder blades high if you can. If your shoulder blades start to push into the ground, make your twist smaller to try to keep that lift. 3, 2, 1, knees come in, feet go flat, head rested. Nice job. We're gonna get on up for our balance series. I'm gonna get a quick drink of water. So when you're ready, come to standing, shake it out and meet me there. All right, balance is happening here. So if you want to hold on to something nearby for balance, just make sure it's something sturdy. We're gonna get started. Feet hip width apart, toes forward. We're gonna start with calf raises. So keep your legs straight, heels lift and heels lower. Hands can be on your hips, in a T, in a prayer, holding on to something, whatever's gonna work for you. Heels lift and lower. To make this more of a balance challenge here, you can play with making it nice and slow as you lower those heels towards the ground. Just getting in touch with our balance here before we take it to the next level. Pulling the belly button into the spine. Standing nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head. All right, from here, you're gonna come back to your flat feet and we're gonna take a slow, narrow squat. This is really gonna fire up those glutes. So I'm gonna put my hands in a prayer because that's where I like to have them for my squat. You can choose what works for you. And keep your feet about hip width apart, toes forward. Our feet are a little bit more narrow than they would be in our typical squat. You're gonna push your hips back and then bend your knees, sink those hips down, nice and slow. And then stand up nice and slow. Taking this slow is gonna make us activate those balance stabilizing muscles. So hips push back and then they sink down. That's gonna help keep the knees tracked over the ankles. If we try to bend our knees first before we push our hips back, then the knees are gonna come forward ahead of our toes and they're gonna take the work rather than the glutes. And today we're gonna focus on the glutes. So hips push back, sink down, stand nice and tall. Try to keep your core engaged the entire time, belly button into spine. With the narrow stance, it's just forcing us to balance a little bit more. With the slower movement, again, challenging our balance. Keep your chest proud, collarbone wide, nose forward. And when you're ready, stand nice and tall. Shake it out. Shift your weight to your left foot. Take your right heel and lift it off the ground. Your right toes can stay on the ground, or you can take it to this movement. Right toes tap back to the right, you choose how far, and then come right back underneath the right hip. Right toes tap back, reset underneath the hip. Take a soft bend in your stabilizing knee, your left knee, so that the stabilizing muscles are supporting you here rather than the joint stability. You have the option to stay wherever you're at. Maybe you're keeping your right toes where they are, you're lifting and lowering your heel. Maybe you are taking that tap back, tap underneath the hip. Or you could keep your toe back, leg straight, and lift your leg upward and backward an inch or so, and then tap the toe back down on the ground once again. So what's it called? A kick back. So toes are reaching back to the right, lift and lower, keeping the toes back behind you as they lift and lower. Again, always the option to reset underneath the hip. This is activating the glutes in a big way. And when you're ready, stand nice and tall. We're gonna reset and we're gonna take it to adduction. So this is side glutes. So feet hip width apart, both feet flat. Again, shift your weight to your left leg. Soft bend in that left knee. Right toes tap to the right, come right back underneath the hip. Tap right and come underneath the hip. Now, if you'd like to take this to an abduction, you can. So you can continue tapping your toe to the right and then right back underneath the hip, or you can keep your toe to the right, lift from there, lower it back down. So leg is straight, reaching to the right. If we're on a clock, I believe that's 3 o'clock. Toe reaches to 3 o'clock, lifts, lowers, lifts, lowers. Stabilizing again with a soft bend through the left leg. Outer glutes pinching here as our leg lifts or as we tap out and then reset. And 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet back through center and take a forward fold. Fold yourself in half, reach your hands towards your toes, let your head hang heavy, let the glutes release. Stretching from the back of the feet all the way up through the glutes and then all the way through the spine as you reach down. And slowly roll on up, one vertebrae at a time. We're gonna take it to the second side, starting with our calf raises. So feet flat, hip width apart, toes forward, hands wherever's gonna help you balance. Heels lift, heels lower. Hands can be hips, prayer, T-shape, holding onto something, whatever's gonna work for you. And if you're looking for a challenge here, the challenge can be to lower your heels down to the ground slower than you want to. It's really gonna fire up through the calves, really gonna force you with that slower movement to stabilize through every little step of the way. job. And when you're ready, we're gonna take it to that slow, narrow squat. I'm gonna put my hands in a prayer for this because that's what I prefer. And sink your hips back, then bend your knees, do your squat, sit in your imaginary chair behind you, and then stand up nice and tall. Push the hips back, sink them down, and stand up nice and tall. As you push the hips back and sink them down, that's gonna help keep the knees tracking over the ankles. It protects the knee joint and puts the work in the muscles in the lower body. So it's going to be the thighs on the way down and squeezing through the glutes to rise. Keep the chest proud. Collarbone wide, nose forward. And when you're ready, stand tall. We're going to reset. We're going to take it to our tap backs or kick backs. So stand nice and tall. Lift your left heel off the ground this time. First option is left heel lifts and lowers. Second option is left toes tap backward and then come right back underneath the hip. So everything stays where it is. Left toes reach back, left toes come right back underneath the hip. Let's start there. As you're doing whatever movement you picked, soft bend through that right leg to stabilize through the muscles. As we reach our toes back or push our heel down, we're activating through the glutes here. And if you'd like, now's your time to take it to a kick back. So if you'd like to keep your toes in the backward position and then leg straight, lift your leg an inch, drop the toes back down to the ground, you can. Or you can continue doing the movement that you chose from earlier, heel lifts and lowers or toes tap back, reset. So with the kickbacks, that's an extra little oomph, a little extra bite for the glutes. Again, soft knee, right knee, stabilizing. You can hold on to something for balance if you need. Core is nice and strong. Belly button's pulled into the spine. We're trying not to cave through the lower back here so that the glutes are doing the work and not the low back. In 3, 2, 1, come back through standing, come back through center, feet hip width apart, toes forward. We're gonna take it to the side angle of the glutes this time. So soft bend through that right stabilizing leg. Left heel lifts off the ground. Left toes are gonna reach to the left, come back through center. Left toes reach left, come back through center. You choose how far you're reaching to the left, that's your choice. You can do it until your leg is all the way straight or not. This is on a clock, 9 o'clock. That our toes are reaching to, and then coming right back through center. Directly to the left of the left hip and resetting. And stabilizing through that right leg. And option to take this to an abduction. So keeping your toes reached as far left as you can and lift it an inch, tap the toes back down to the ground. Lift an inch, tap it back to the ground. Again, you can stick with any of the options you chose before, tapping and resetting, or getting that extra pinch here through the outside of the left hip, left glutes. Almost done here. Almost ready for our reset. In 3, 2, 1, stand nice and tall, feet hip width apart. Take it to your forward fold. Reach your hands down to the ground, fold yourself in half, elongating through the backs of the legs, backs of the feet, through the glutes. Glutes all the way through the crown of the head, reaching through the fingertips. Nice stretch. When you're ready, you can roll back up one bit of it at a time to standing. I'm gonna get a drink while I'm here, and then we're gonna make our way back to the floor to burn out some more of those stabilizer muscles. Okay, I just got a drink. We're on the floor on our backs. So from your back, go ahead and you can start with your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Take your palms, push them down into the ground outside the hips. Head gets to stay rested. Send both legs to the ceiling for corkscrew. So both legs up, point your toes, squeeze your inner thighs, your legs together. Try to get your legs as straight as you can get them. And we're gonna draw circles alternating every other. So draw a circle with those legs staying together. Once you come up through the top, come up through center, switch directions. Take a nice deep breath. through it. Keep the low back glued to the ground. Squeeze through the inner thighs. And 3, 2, 1. You can bend your knees and rest your feet flat to the floor if you need. We're gonna take it to some leg circles next. So our legs are gonna get sent straight back up to the ceiling. So when you're ready, legs go on up. And we're gonna draw circles. This is great for opening the hips, outer glutes. So toes pointed to the ceiling, legs as straight as you can get them. Let your legs fall out to the sides, right and left. And then push your legs away from you and then connect them and then send them to the ceiling. So legs open nice and wide, left and right. Then they go away from you to bring them together and then send them to the ceiling. So kind of like drawing like a semicircle. And then let's reverse direction. So start with your feet to the ceiling, legs together. Lower your legs to the diagonal, away from the torso, and then separate the legs, bring them out right and left, and then connect them together right over your hips. Lower the legs away from the torso, keeping them squeezed together. Separate them left and right, and then bring them together right over the hips again. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest your head, rest your feet, or your head was already rested. Rest your feet. And we're gonna take it to lower body dead bugs. So go ahead and take your hands, again, push them down into the ground, palms outside the hips. Lift your legs to upside down tabletop. So what that means is your legs are bent to an L shape. It's upside down though. So knees directly over hips, shins parallel to the ceiling. Point your toes. Pull your belly button down towards your spine, gluing your low back to the ground. Extend your right leg long to hover over the ground, then bring it back, and then do your left. Now, if this is a lot to extend the leg, you can keep the leg bent and do a toe tap to the ground instead of the leg extend. So whatever's gonna work for you. How you can tell which one you need to choose is if your low back starts to come off the ground, choose the toe tap. If your low back stays glued, choose the leg extension. Good job. And in 3, 2, 1, bring both feet flat to the floor. We're gonna take to our glute bridges. So feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. What I want you to do to get some extra glute and hamstring spice as we are today is I want you to step your feet just a pace further away from your glutes. That's gonna make the distance a little bit longer and to make it more tension through the back of the hamstrings. And then I want you to flex your feet. So your heels are on the ground and your toes are lifted. That's also gonna add some fire through the backside of the body. Push your palms down into the ground outside the hips. Squeeze your glutes to lift your hips to the ceiling. From here, you're gonna lower one vertebrae at a time until your tailbone's the last to touch the ground, and then reverse the direction. Tailbone first to lift, vertebrae lift all one at a time. So shoulders stay on the ground, head stays on the ground, hips lifting and lowering. So your back does lift up to the point of the shoulder blades. Squeeze the glutes to lift and slowly release down. The slower you release down, the more you're gonna burn out through the glutes as they're releasing, but nice and slowly. You're gonna feel that hamstring work with those feet flexed, toes lifted. Now, next one, I want you to just take your feet a little bit wider than they were, a little bit wider than the hips, keeping them flexed. And that's gonna take, as we do these next couple glute bridges, that's gonna take it to the outer glutes with that wider stance. Hips lift and hips lower. Nice burn through the backside, the lower body. In 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. We're gonna keep it down on the ground, head rested, and you're gonna send your legs to the ceiling now. We're gonna build off of one of the exercises we just did. So legs to the ceiling, toes pointed. You do not have to squeeze your legs together here. You're gonna lower your right leg towards the ground to hover off the ground, and then switch. Right leg comes up, left leg hovers off the ground. Again, you can take a bend in your legs and take this to a toe tap instead of a hover if the low back feels off the ground. We're gonna get a stretch through the back of that hamstring and glute as our leg lifts, and a burn through the thigh as we lower. Keeping the low abs engaged, low back glued to the ground. As we switch, one leg up, one leg down, and switch. Upper body gets to stay rested here. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bring both feet flat to the floor. Nice job, everybody. We are gonna go ahead and switch on over to all fours, tabletop position for our bird dog series. Just 2 exercises here in bird dog. So hands go underneath shoulders, knees go underneath hips. So we're gonna use glutes here and also our core stabilizers. So opposite arm, opposite leg are going to extend away from the body. So I'm going to reach right arm forward at shoulder height, left leg back at hip height, keeping back flat, nose pointed down, spine nice and elongated, head in line with your spine. You're holding it. Right arm forward, left leg back. Hold here. Find your balance, let yourself wobble and shake. Keep your belly button pulled into your spine. If one arm and one leg is not working, just do the leg as we're focused on the glutes today, and you can keep both hands down. Try to relax your back right foot. And 3, 2, 1, reset. Both hands and knees on the ground. Once again, we're gonna switch sides. Left arm reaches forward at shoulder height, right leg reaches back at hip height. Point your right toes and hold. Head in line with your spine, belly button is pulled in. This is balance here. Squeeze through your right glute to keep that leg nice and level with the spine. Breathe. Again, if you need to put one limb down, make it be your hand and keep your leg extended behind you. And go ahead and release back to all fours. We're going to take it to some extra glute spice for this next bird dog exercise. So keep your hands down on the ground underneath your shoulders. Extend your right leg back behind you. Point your toes at hip height. I want you to then keep your leg extended behind you and then lower your toes towards the ground and then lift the leg right back up behind you. So toes reach down, leg comes right back up to hip height. Leg stays straight the entire time. Head stays in line with the spine, back stays flat. No spilling any celebration cake or cupcakes off the back. Keeping it nice in line. That's going to keep the work in the glutes, and that's going to make our glute series later feel so much better. Nice job. 3, 2, 1. Bring that right knee right back underneath so you're on all fours again. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Extend your left leg behind you. We're going to do the same thing left side. So left leg is straight, toes are reaching on the ground, and then they lift back up to hip height. Toes tap, come back up to hip height. So you don't want to lift the leg any higher than hip height. It's going to keep the back flat. And feel that squeeze through the glutes to lift that leg up. And a little bit of a release to lower that leg down. You got it. Woo! In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest that left knee on down to the ground. And we're going to come to the front side of our bodies, laying down, belly button down. Now, we are going to do a back extension. So arms are going to reach by your hips. So palms face outside the hips or outside the thighs. And push your hips down into the ground and pull your belly button up. So your stomach will still stay on the ground here, but that's going to give you the ab engagement. And point your toes, kind of try to squeeze your legs close together, get them to touch if you can. And go ahead and lift the upper and lower body off the ground. So hips stay down, chest, shoulders, arms lift, legs lift. Try to get the thighs off the ground a little bit if you can. And hold here. Strengthening through the back side of the body, squeezing through the glutes, hamstrings on fire, pulling the shoulder blades together, opening through the chest. Breathe. Hold in 3, 2, 1. Let everything come on back down. Beautifully done. Now, staying on the front side of your body, take your elbows underneath your shoulders so it props your chest up. Elbows directly beneath shoulders. Take your left hand and put it in a fist. Right hand's gonna wrap around the fist, just so that your hands are together, elbows underneath shoulders. Extend your legs behind you, try to squeeze your legs together, point your toes. We're gonna go into single leg kick. With your toes pointed, kick your right heel towards your glutes, towards your bottom twice. Extend it down long, left side twice, extend it down long. So when I say 2 kicks, I want the first kick to be huge, and the second kick is that little extra oomph to try to get that heel 1 inch closer to the glutes. Big kick, switch, big kick, little kick, switch. This is activating through the hamstrings and the glutes, strengthening the back side of the body, the posterior chain. Try to keep your chest nice and proud and wide. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest your upper body. So maybe you take your hands and stack them on top of each other. Rest your head on your forearms. Upper body stays rested here. And we're gonna go into heel beats to get the inner corner of our glutes. So with your legs extended behind you, I want you to turn your heels in towards each other slightly and turn your toes outward slightly. So whatever range of motion that is for you is fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. I want you to again push your hips into the ground and pull your belly button up just to get some engagement, and then lift your legs off the ground an inch or so to hover. As they're lifted, squeeze your heels towards each other and then release. Squeeze towards each other and release. This movement does not have to be huge. It's a little movement concentrated on getting the inner corner of the glutes. Heels towards each other and release. The heels do not have to touch. Just going towards each other and releasing. Try to keep those legs lifted if you can. Last chance to burn these out in 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Rest those legs down. Nice job, everybody. Go ahead and we're gonna get a drink if you need. We're gonna transition to our glute series with side kicks. All right, I just got a drink of water myself, and I'm gonna lay left side down, right side up. So left hip to the ground, right hip to the ceiling, lay in one nice long line. You have options here. Left elbow can go beneath your left shoulder. You can have your head rest in the palm of your left hand, or you can use your left arm as a pillow. Right arm or right hand is going to push palm down in front of the ground in front of the torso, the chest, the ribs. Legs are nice and long to start. And then I want you to, right now your feet are in line with your hips. I want you to just bring your feet ahead, move them forward just an inch or so that you're no longer in a perfect little line. You're more of an obtuse angle here, like 175-degree angle instead of 180, a straight line. So flex both your feet here, and then lift your right leg up towards hip height. Now I want you to do our side kicks front and back. So with your foot flexed, kick your heel forward twice, and then point your toes and kick it backward twice, as if you're sliding it along a table. Forward, forward, back, back. And just like those single leg kicks we did earlier, the first kick is nice and big. The second kick is just a finisher kick to try to get your range of motion a little bit further. As you kick forward, again, that heel is flexed, that foot is flexed. As you kick backward, the toe is pointed. Your leg stays up the same height the entire time. Pull your abs in here. You want to keep your torso still. The more still that your torso is, the more movement and work is going to go into these center glutes. You're going to feel this, where the back of your thigh and your glutes meet to touch. You got it. And 3, 2, 1. If you need to rest your top leg, you can. Stack them on top of each other. You're gonna come back to flexed foot. And then when you're ready, you're gonna lift that right leg right back up to hip height and it's gonna stay floating over the left leg. Now we're gonna do up downs. Right leg reaches towards the ceiling, comes back down to hip height. So as we do these up downs, you do not have to lift your leg very high towards the ceiling. It can be up to 8 inches and then lower back down to hip height. This is targeting our side glutes here. Woohoo! We're working through it. All for Teresa. Burn through the pain. Do it like you've done it 100 times before. You got this. And 3, 2, 1. You may go ahead and rest that top leg down if you need to get a little break. Feet come back to flex, and we do our circles. So keep your leg straight. Right leg is going to draw circles over the top of the left leg. So maybe you brush your ankles together as you come through center. Right ankle brushes into the left to keep that leg centered. Keep the circle centered to keep that burn going. So because we're doing a circle, we're getting a little bit more of an activation. You're going to feel it in the corner of your glute. And reverse your circle. Really push down with that right hand to try to stabilize. Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. Release. Before we switch sides, come onto your front side of your body. You can just rest your head, maybe fold your forearms, rest your forehead on your hands. And we're just going to windshield wiper our legs before we switch sides. So on your belly, bend your heels towards your bottom and let your feet fall right. Let your feet fall left. Just loosening up. Windshield wiping our legs behind us, opening up through the hip sockets, releasing through the back side of the body. And when you're ready, come on up out of that. We switch to laying on right side down, left side up. So when you're ready, we're switching glutes. So right hip down, the left hip up, right arm. You can have your right elbow underneath your right shoulder. You can use your right hand as a to rest your head in, or you can use your right arm as a pillow. Left hand, palm faces down, pushes down in front of the rib cage, the torso, and your feet are flexed. Take your feet and just bring them an inch or two forward so that they're no longer in perfect line with the hips. They're just a little bit ahead of them. Now, with your feet flexed, lift your left leg up to hip height. We take it to our front and back kicks. So big kick forward followed by a little kick, and then I want you to point your toes, kick back, big kick followed by a little kick. So flexed to kick forward, pointed to kick back. You want to keep your leg at hip height the entire time as if you're sliding it along the counter. It can't go lower, it can't go higher, it's got to stay exactly where it is. It's a Goldilocks leg. Try to keep your torso nice and tight, belly button pulled into your spine. We are working our center glutes here, where the glutes and the thighs meet. Try to stay proud through your chest. Kick, 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 kick. Torso staying as still as you can. And in 3, 2, 1, you can stack that left foot right back on top of the right. Take a moment if you need. And when you're ready, we're going to take it to up downs. So flexed foot will come up to hip height. Lift the leg towards the ceiling, lower it back down to hip height. Outer glutes, side glutes here, feel the pinch outside the hip as you lift and lower. So again, lifting to hip height, or lifting above hip height, lowering to hip height. You don't have to lift the leg more than 8 inches. You're going to feel that pinch. You're going to feel that engagement. This is where we are burning. This is where we pull out our fight, you guys. This is where we dig deep. We know that we can do this. We are strong. We are resilient. And we may or may not have done it over 100 times. Maybe this is your 100th time. You can do it. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and take a rest with that left leg. We're going to take it to our circles. Draw a circle with your left leg. Brush your ankles as you come through center. So left ankle comes in to try to reach the right ankle as it comes through the bottom of its circle. Again, circles don't have to be huge. Burning it out. And we're gonna reverse directions in 3, 2, 1, reverse, reverse, reverse. You got it. Outside of those glutes, that corner. 3, 2, 1, rest that leg. Woo, nice job. We're gonna take it back to those windshield wipers. But belly down, maybe fold your forearms, rest your head on your hands, whatever's gonna be comfortable, just rest the upper body. Bend your knees, bring your heels towards your bottom, windshield wiper your legs, right and left. Good job. Just releasing any extra tension that's holding in the hips or the back side of the body. And when you're ready, we're gonna finish out with a little ab series spice before we stretch. So on the ground, let's get on our backs for this ab series. So go ahead and take your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling, and you can reach your arms forward outside the hips to start. If it feels better to hold your hands behind your head, elbows wide, you can do that. You're gonna curl up, upper abs, so shoulder blades hover off the ground. For me, I'm gonna keep this hover with the shoulder blades up, keep the body still, and then I'm gonna reach my hands back behind my head, and then I'm gonna reach them forward again. So holding this upper crunch position, shoulder blades hovering, hands reach back, hands reach forward. If you need to hold your hands behind your head, elbows wide, and stay still getting the upper ab work, just a different way of doing it. You got it. We're gonna take these to side crunches in less than 10 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, rest your head. Take your hands behind your head, elbows wide if they're not already. Crunch to the right, release through center, crunch to the left, release through center. So crunching, shoulder blades are just hovering, and they crunch right, crunch left. Just slightly, crunch towards the right knee, crunch towards the left knee. The knees stay put for this one. Feet stay flat. Abs, obliques working. And 3, 2, 1, rest the head. We're gonna take it to low abs, upside down tabletop legs. So head rested, push the palms down outside the hips. And we're gonna take it to those dead bug bicycle legs. So right leg extends long to hover over the ground. Left knee stays over left hip, then switch. Upside down tabletop leg, right knee stays there, left leg extends to hover and switch. You can do reciprocal switches. So one leg extends as the other bends in, or you can alternate one, let it finish, then do the other one. Again, this can always be a toe tap instead of a leg hover if that's gonna support you best. And 3, 2, 1. Rest, and we're gonna just burn it out one more time with glute bridges. So take your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling, push your palms down into the ground outside the hips, and you're just gonna squeeze the glutes to lift the hips up and lower the hips right back down to the ground. Tailbone reaches up, tailbone floats back down. Last little chance to burn out the glutes, and after this we will stretch. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job. We stretch. I got some 90s rock piano versions to take us through our stretch. So go ahead, get a drink if you need, shake anything out. And feel free to follow along with me for our cool down, or do what's going to feel best in your body. We are going to start on all fours in cat-cow. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Back starts flat and a nice big inhale. On your exhale, you take it to cat. Push your spine to the sky, push through your palms, tuck your chin to your chest. And when you need to inhale, you'll take it to cow. Dip your belly low, roll your shoulders down and back. Nice wide, proud collarbone, nose forward. Taking it through these at your own pace, cat and cow. Inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. Maybe add wiggles where wiggles feel good, pushing your hips forward, back, side to side. All right, nice job. Come back to your flat back when you're ready. Curl your toes under and send your hips to the ceiling. So toes and hands on the ground, arms and legs straight, hips up. Pull your chest towards your knees for a deeper stretch through the spine. Push your heels towards the ground for a deeper stretch through the backs of the legs. Feel that stretch all the way up through the glutes. I know I do. And we're going to come down to our knees. I'm going to do a quick four or seated figure four pigeon stretch before we get to our backs. So come down to your bottom. Feet can be flat on the floor. And then your hands can go underneath your shoulders, palms face down, fingertips reach the same direction as your toes. And this is just going to open our glutes. So take your right heel, or not, sorry, your right ankle. The outside of your right ankle rests on top of your left thigh, as close to that left knee as you can get. That's going to make your right knee point out to the right, and it's going to force a stretch through the right glutes. To get deeper into the stretch, you'll bring your chest forward towards your knee, or you can take your hands and wrap them around your left thigh and hug your left thigh into your chest. That's going to make you roll back onto your back. So you'll have to switch orientations a little bit, but that's okay. Do whatever option is going to work for you. And when you're ready, you're going to switch. So both feet come flat to the floor once again, knees to the ceiling, hands underneath the shoulders. Outside of the left ankle comes and rests on top of the right thigh, as close to the right knee as you can get. That's going to force the left knee to point out to the left and open up through the hip and glutes. Again, options to make this deeper is to bring your chest closer to your legs, or you can roll onto your back, keeping the same leg position, hugging your arms around that left thigh, hugging the left knee in closer to you. It's going to force that, or hugging the right knee into you is going to force that left knee to open out to the left. And go ahead and release. Come onto your back. From your back, hug your right knee into your chest. Your left leg can either extend long, or you can plant your left foot flat to the floor. And on your next exhale, you can take your right knee outside the right rib cage or towards the right shoulder, slightly opening up through the inner thigh, outer hip. And take it to your twist. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Guide the right knee over towards the left side of your body, however far feels good to you. Right hip peels off the ground. Right arm goes long to a T shape, out to the right. Nose points right. Big glute stretch, spine twist, shoulder and chest opener. And go ahead and unwind. Hug both knees to your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. We switch sides. So keep your left knee into your chest. Extend your right leg long. And let your left knee come out wide outside the rib cage to open up through the inner thigh, outer hip. And take it to your twist. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Guide the left knee over towards the right side of the body. Left arm goes long to a T, out to the left. Nose points left. Glute stretch, spine twist, shoulder and chest opener. And come through center, hug both knees to your chest, give yourself a little rock side to side if it feels good, and roll up to a seated position. Extend your legs nice and long in front of you for our seated forward fold. Arms start by your sides. Inhale, arms reach out to the sides and up over the head. Exhale, hinge forward at the waist. Reach your fingers towards your toes. Maybe you land among your knees, your shins, your ankles, or your toes. Folding yourself in half, feeling that stretch from the back of the heel all the way through the glutes, tailbone through the crown of the head. Relax your shoulders down and back to increase the stretch through the spine. Releasing with every exhale, getting deeper into the stretch. Maybe you take a moment here to reflect. When we reach big milestones or we have these celebrations, we think of all the time and dedication it came to get here, where our journey started to where we are now. 100 hours dedicated to ourselves. Release. That stretch will come into our butterfly. The bottoms of your feet come together to touch. Your knees bend out to each side. You hinge forward at the waist to get a deeper stretch through the back and also to increase the stretch through the inner thighs. Maybe you pull your heels closer to you. Maybe you gently rest your forearms on your inner thighs and just release any tension with every exhale you have. And we release that and we take it to our tabletop position for our child's pose. So from your tabletop, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Let your knees go a little bit wider than the hips. Bring your big toes together behind you. Sink your bottom back towards your heels and then walk your hands forward, bringing your chest and forehead towards the ground or to the ground, whatever's going to feel good for you. Pulling back with the tailbone as you simultaneously reach forward with the fingertips. Stretching and elongating the spine. Take another deep breath for you, and your last deep breath for Teresa. Thank you for joining our core stability today. I'm going to stop recording.